Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, 7:15 a.m. Prices of Bitcoin currently at 93.34. It seems like a lot has happened over the last maybe 8 or 10 hours. So I definitely want to discuss exactly what we're seeing in the market, what you could potentially expect over the next coming days, as this is really the first full week for Bitcoin, right, for February. So let's get to it. Okay, so first thing, folks, what I like to do is I like to break down the analysis by smaller time frames, and then I get to the larger ones. So let's do the smaller ones, right? So on the 15-minute chart, let's see how the 15-minute looks. Okay, and for the most part, the 15-minute really had this kind of up movement right here, and then this massive spike up. This really seems now, in retrospect, like a run to fill up shorts up here, and then eventually just dump this down. Okay, and the question is, we have to determine what kind of volume and players are up here willing to push the market down. Are they the players who are stronger than those who are pushing the markets up? Because remember that the market is never really unanimous that everyone is bullish or everyone is bearish. There's always going to be a loser on the other side of a winner, right? And so that means that in this consolidation that we're seeing right here, right, this is all just consolidation. What's happening right here, right here, right here, right here, all this stuff. And even this stuff that happens right here and up here and up here and then down here, this is all part of a larger plan, which is that these are all deviations in the price. The real consolidation range is between this high right here, around 94.50. I'd probably say the low is in this area right here, around 92.30 or so. I think this chart better shows it. So let me pull up this chart, okay? I know there's a lot of clutter here, but I would say this is probably a better chart for that. So this is the high, right, 94.40 or so. And the low is right there around 92.36, okay? And everything below the low, right here, like this, and this, and this, and all this that's happening, that is all deviation that's happened to be able to squeeze out some long positions and then ultimately, continue the consolidation, okay? Now, here's the thing, okay? Now, if you're looking at this big consolidation and you're thinking that, okay, what does this mean? Why is this happening? Why is it taking so long? And where is it going, right? So there's a few ways to answer those questions, okay? In consolidations, right, typically they happen either for the fact that there might be some distribution happening up here, right? So larger players may want to let go of their position at the most optimal prices possible, which is obviously up here, versus just selling and market selling, and then this starts going down, and then that means that they have to sell at lower prices, right? They're very tactical in how they offload and load positions, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you're playing with 50, 100, $200 million, every dollar up and down is really affecting your bottom line, right? So on a $10 million trade, a 1% change in price, I mean, it's a pretty significant move, right? And that's about, what is that, $1 million or so, or actually, I'm sorry, $100,000, right? $100,000 on a $10 million position is quite a bit, right? So you want to get the most optimal price to be able to offload your position or load your position, right? And so in this particular case, when we look at this consolidation, I don't really see anything other than just sideways movement that is gearing up for a potential up move, okay? Now this consolidation, the reason why we're a bit more positive on this, right, is because, all right, so here's the thing, okay? We were in this range right here from this area, 82.50 up to this area. Oops, let me get to that slowly right there, and then came back down. And then we hit that same area again, pulled back a little bit, boom, blasted through it, right? And then since then, we're using that same area, which was the high of this resistance right here, as support. So we're not breaking down inside this trading range, right? Once we get inside this trading range, that's where things become a little bit more murkier, right? And then I have to start thinking about, well, was this all distribution above the range high? And then are we going to go down further? or was this just a quick consolidation right here, and then are we going to push up, right? And so for now, my bias is still long, okay? However, I'm shifting to now starting to take positions in quick scalps for short positions. And the reason I'm saying that is a couple reasons, okay? Number one, all right, this is a bearish SFP, meaning that price pokes past the high, a key swing high right there, retreats and really sells off hard, okay? I mean, that's a clear definition of a bearish swing failure pattern, okay? Number two, not only did the price come back and close under this key area as SFP, the following candle, this big red candle right here, actually closed below key levels. Number one key level right there, okay? That's 94.64, which was this high that was, imperative in being broken right there. This red candle closed under that. Not only that, it closed over this 1 hour candle right here, this 1 hour marker, 94.40, which was almost, extremely important for us to continue our up move if we were just going to go up like this, right? Now, even that got closed under. More importantly, also what we did was we shot down really sharp, really hard, right from the top of the range right here, okay, which was, remember, this is the top of the range, and this is all right here, just deviation and deviation, right? So if those two are deviations, the real range is 94.40, and the bottom of the range is right there, around 92.36. Look, in the span of maybe 2 hours or an hour, it hit both ends, okay? The top of the range and the bottom of the range, which is basically this green block, okay? So what that tells me is that the bears, for now, are really doing whatever it takes to defend their positions, okay, up here. And that I can show you based on this daily chart. Notice that in October, this area right here, this marker right here, I'm sorry, the consolidation that happened right here, all this right here was consolidation, okay, right here, before a sell-off, okay? So it makes sense that this same consolidation, which has probably a lot of sellers waiting, or people who are defending their short positions, are going to defend their short positions once price comes up to that same area, right? It makes sense. So what's happening right now is those same people are doing their best to hold prices under this area, okay? They know that once prices start reaching up and up, I mean, there's really gonna be no end to it. I think the bears know that their names are gonna be on the coffins, because after that, we're just gonna keep blasting off. At the very least, to this high marker around 10,500, and then at the very most around maybe 10,800 or 11,000. That's really the height of where I think the prices could go. And I'll show you guys that in a second. But anyway, the point is that for now, all I can say is we're just consolidating right, inside the supply. And typically when you consolidate in the supply right here, in the heart of it, this is actually a positive sign, because the bears are doing their best to pressure you down, okay? They don't want you spending more time up here. That just means that their positions are more under danger, right? And so the more time that's spent up here, the more dangerous it is for a bear to be short. And so if I am shorting, right, what I'm doing really is I'm looking for quick ins and outs, okay? If I short here, I'm looking to get out here. If I short up here, I'm looking to get out the bottom of the range. That's it. My long positions, however, I would want to build long positions. Like if I see any movement to the bottom side right here, I would want to go long, because you could see this area is tried and tested. It's held here and here and even here. Don't worry about these wicks, okay? These are wicks to just stop out these positions. The real range that the bulls don't want you to realize is this bottom right here. And sometimes, it actually helps to just be able to see this chart on a line chart, because you get to ignore those wicks, and then you see bottom right there, bottom right there, bottom right there. So for now, based on a line chart, I mean, all I can see is low, higher low, and potentially another higher low that's coming up, okay? So in my opinion, I think things still look good in terms of the larger perspective, but the fact that this SFP happened, and then this lower high, and then this rejection from this consolidation, and we're basically sitting under the monthly open, and if we start closing below the weekly open, it's probably not going to be a good thing. you know, so this is where you want to be a little careful of what the price, you know, may do or could do. Okay. Um, so point is, I think things still look good in my opinion. Like I said, if prices start getting back inside this range, then things are a little bit murky. Then I would not be surprised if price starts hammering, you know, this area right here around 88.50 or so, which is just, you know, the resting liquidity right below this consolidation. Or it might start hammering, you know, this area right here, which is the EQ of this large range, which is around $8,700 or so. Okay. And also that was, you know, this consolidation right here before the drop off. And then once we blasted through it, we haven't really come back to retest that area on a higher time frame. So who knows, we might have to do that right there, right? But again, you know, that's all kind of speculative for now. I don't want to think about, you know, what price could be doing in a few days. If we just look at the charts right now, I think it's clearly evident that we're still in consolidation. Things still look okay for the bulls. I just didn't really like this, you know, bearish SFP, you know, lower high, tapping both sides of the range, and now really struggling to sort of move above the monthly open, right? So that's pretty much it. Let me check out the XO real quick. On the XO charts, you know, here's another thing, right? There's a $1.2 billion that went inside this candle in terms of contracts exchanged, right? And only a 39 million positive delta. Typically when you see a big candle like this, I mean, I want to see some big positive delta, but didn't really happen. And so this was, you know, also sort of a cautionary sign in terms of just footprint data. And then after that, $255 million of contracts and then negative 16 million positive or negative volume. And then over here, negative 33 million delta volume. So all in all, I mean, things are not looking good for now. But, you know, again, we are still in that large consolidation, right? So it's hard to determine if we're just going to start selling off. Finally, I think over the last maybe 4 or 8 hours or so, now we're starting to see the CVD, which is the cumulative volume delta, which is basically these numbers added together. So like, you know, 52 plus 15 minus 8 minus 64 gives you this number, you know, and then plus 39 right here gives you this number, you know. So with that being said, we're starting to see that CVD turn negative, and you know, if this starts increasing, it could be a little bit worrying, because then we might start hammering away at these levels with higher volume and higher negative delta, meaning that there's sellers who are actually stepping up and they're not willing to let the prices come up, you know. But anyway, that remains to be seen. I mean, we'll see how that goes, right? Let's see the daily real quick. I mean, for the last, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3 days, right? We've had the negative delta volume, right? And now we're starting to turn negative on the CVD as well for the last, you know, 3 days. So this is probably also not really a good thing, that, you know, we're starting to sort of increase our negative delta on a daily time frame. Okay, so I'm going to be careful in, you know, determining any long positions. I'm going to be cautious about even my short positions, how I structure them, but I will let my Advantage members know exactly how I'm going to be positioned. Again, go to the Cryptosomniac website if you are interested in the Advantage membership. Buying the technical analysis course will give you 7 days in all the locked channels that you see right here. And we've actually added, you know, some more channels. Like now we're doing BTC leverage and BTC long, so short and long, and then alt leverage trades. And then this is all our spot positions right here, okay? We've also divided the channels into Bitcoin discussions versus altcoins, STO, IEO, and ICO chats. And so, yeah, we've gotten a lot more members now, a lot of, you know, very good insight in the community. So I'm really happy at the amount of people who are contributing. So I do hope we get more people in and make some gains, all right? So anyway, folks, take care. Keep your stops tight, and I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, take care.